You're out of touch. I'm out of time. But I'm out of my head when you're not around. And I miss you. Yes, I do. Guys, I've been gone for a while, but I had to check in. I had to come back because I had to make a commentary on this whole John Boyega thing. And I got to tell you guys, I can't take this dude seriously, and I'm about to break down the reasons why. This is the gospel according to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. I hope all has been well with you. Now, guys, right off the top, I want you guys to hit that like. I want you to hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you want to, you can also contribute to the channel by hitting that super thanks feature on each and every one of my videos. I guarantee you, I will comment back to you when you hit that. So anyway, let's get into this, guys. You guys know that John Boyega was a star in one of the worst things to ever wear the name Star Wars ever in history. And that would be, of course, the sequel trilogy. We're talking about The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and also the Rise of Skywalker. Now, you would think that John Boyega would let sleeping dog shit lie. After all, it's almost been like 5 years since the Rise of Skywalker. But no, he's got to continue to roll around in it, and he wants to stink of this thing forever, apparently. And we're going to get a little bit into what John Boyega had to say, and then I'm going to give my commentary on it, and I'm going to let you guys know why I just can't take this fool seriously. I just can't. And anybody else who thinks like him. Okay, so right now I'm going to read from Variety.com. And the headline goes like this. John Boyega says Star Wars is so white. How white is it, John Boyega? Star Wars is so white that a black person existing in it is a big deal. Toxic fans are okay with us playing the friend, but we can't can't touch this. Can't touch their heroes. He says that they're okay with us, meaning black people, playing the friend, but we can't touch their heroes. Their heroes. Okay, being a little bit divisive here. These are our heroes. Star Wars is full of our heroes. I grew up with this shit. I know what I'm talking about, John Boyega. You're just still a pup. You're the one who's new here, but getting on to what the article says. All right, John Boyega called out Star Wars for being so white during an interview as part of the new Apple TV Plus original documentary, #1 on the call sheet, Black Leading Men in Hollywood, via Entertainment Weekly. Okay, so this is some documentary that's on Apple TV, Black Leading Men in Hollywood. See, this is so disheartening to me because I'm used to people like Viola Davis talking this way. I'm used to Halle Berry talking this way. I'm used to like black chicks talking like this. It really disturbs me to hear that black men, emphasis on the word men, would go on TV crying about their experiences in Hollywood, right? But apparently that's what this is. Now, Boyega debuted as Finn in Star Wars The Force Awakens and reprised the character in The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. His role in the sequel trilogy led to online harassment from racist and toxic Star Wars fans upset with a black actor playing a lead hero in the space franchise. Okay. All right. Now listen, guys, I will never doubt that John Boyega probably got some racist pushback. I will never doubt that on the internet people could be mean. That I don't have a hard time believing that. I mean, look, I'm on the internet, you're on the internet. We all know how this goes. We're not all going to line up to do a documentary crying, talking about they were mean to me on the internet. This dude got paid, right? And I'm going to bring that up a little bit later. But it says here, all right, and this is a quote from Mr. Boyega. He says, "Let me tell ya, Star Wars always had the vibe of being in the most whitest elite space." Right there. Stop right there. That sentence right there. Let me tell you, Star Wars always had the vibe of being the most whitest elite space. Now, to all my white brothers and sisters out there, why are you taking offense to this? Why is this a hard time, or why are you having a hard time with this? He's paying you the ultimate respect. He's paying you the ultimate compliment. That's when you hear people say stuff like this, what they're really saying is they wish they could be where you are. They wish they could be you. They hate you because they ain't you, basically is what he's talking about. He said that Star Wars has always had the vibe of being in the most whitest elite space. All right? Notice the combination here. White or whitest, elite. He put the word elite or the description of elite next to white. He loves you guys. All right? What is the definition of elite? The absolute, the literal definition is a select group that is superior in terms of ability or qualities to the rest of a group or society. So, John Boyega is saying that you're superior. It's kind of like when people say white supremacy. Supremacy, excuse me, the state or condition of being superior to all others in authority, power, or status. So when you hear people saying that it's white elite or it's white supremacy, they are literally kissing your ass. To my white brothers and sisters, they want to be you. They want to be everywhere that you are. That's all it is to it, you know? I don't take offense to it. This man, he's paying you the ultimate compliment. He says it's a franchise that's so white that a black person existing in it was something, Boyega said in the commentary or the documentary. You can always tell that it's something when some Star Wars fans try to say, well, we had Lando Calrissian and Samuel L. Jackson. It's like telling me how many cookie chips are in the cookie dough. It's like, they're just scattered in there, bro. So he doesn't want to hear about Billy D. Williams. He doesn't want to hear about Samuel Jackson. He doesn't want to hear about James Earl Jones. He doesn't want to hear about Lupita Nyong'o. He doesn't want to hear about anybody that was black except for him. Me. That's all that matters. I feel like I got my feelings hurt. So don't burst my pity party bubble by pointing out that there have in fact been other characters of color in Star Wars that were actually beloved. No, I don't want to hear about that. It's all about me. He says, what about me? Now, the funny thing about this, John Boyega, is just a couple of years ago, you were crying that you felt like you were done dirty by Lucasfilm. You complained to Kathleen Kennedy. Now, contrary to popular belief, some of you might have a hard time believing this, but I've been in this game for a very long time, all right? And my memory, I'm getting up there, but my memory still serves me well. And I did videos about John Boyega long ago. I did one probably over 6 years ago where I called John Boyega out about this very thing. And I was saying that he's got a problem with Star Wars, and I gave it this ugly rant, behind it. Maybe I'll leave the link to that in the pinned comment below so you can see what was going on with me back then. That video, by the way, got over 1,700 views, which for back then for me was great. You know what I mean? These days I can barely get like 200 views, but this is a natural occurrence, I'm supposed to believe. But anyway, YouTube, oh, I hate you. I love you, but I hate you. I probably hate you more than anything because anyway, so getting back to John Boyega, right? I did that video. And I went back and I watched that video and I realized all of this toxicity he's talking about, the toxic fans, the toxic white fans, it's so white and everything. Let me just say two things. First of all, I remember back then, John Boyega and those of you who are watching, you might have heard of a little channel called, Geeks and Gamers, right? Back then, that was around 2019, okay? I very clearly remember that Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers he put an invitation out there for John Boyega to come onto his platform, to come onto his stream, not to abuse you, not to lynch you, not anything like that. He came on there or he wanted you to come on there to have a sounding board because we all knew that Finn was underserved in the so-called sequel trilogy. Anywhere you go, you'll hear fans saying that the idea of a stormtrooper that was force sensitive, a stormtrooper turned Jedi, was fucking awesome. It was amazing. Everybody was saying that Finn could have been the best thing ever. Everyone was saying that. But John Boyega, you are choosing and you're making the choice to dump on the fandom or to look over that section of the fandom. Those people that you're calling out are the very ones that were supportive of your character. I did a video a long time ago where I was talking about you were my son's favorite character. And when he saw what Star Wars did to him in The Last Jedi, he stopped being a Star Wars fan across the board. It broke my heart. He was only something like 7 or 8 years old. I was looking forward to sharing Star Wars with him for my whole life. I was looking forward to having a son. And when he finally got into Star Wars, we had such a great time until The Last Jedi. And that was my origin story. That's what happened with me. Okay? But, John Boyega, you say that Star Wars is the whitest, most elite group or corner of Star Wars. Why would you say that? Because you're overlooking the black fans. You are so busy up in the ass of white people. You're so busy up in the ass of white racists, not even the white people who mean you well. You look past all of us, black people, white people, or fans who mean you well, and you want to fixate on something like this for the sake of this documentary, okay? You want to have this documentary where you're going to commiserate with other black actors like you're not all filthy rich, and you want to complain about something like this, you know, when you could be playing to your audience. You could be building your audience. You've been in the game for a while now. You all could be doing this. You all could be encouraging your audience and younger members of the audience to get into this, to make a difference. But no, you just want to continue to play this victimhood narrative over and over and over again, as if there are black platforms out here that don't exist. Like I said before, I've been in the game like just about 10 years now. Okay, I roll with a group of great people, and we call ourselves the Dark Council. We stream every other Wednesday, right? You don't seek us out. That's the reason why our channels don't grow in relation to the other channels that you want to perceive as being toxic and anti-black. That's what I was talking about with Director X. You know, that's what I talk about with all of you so-called black creators. When you want to make some type of statement, you always go straight to the same people. Their channels blow up, their audiences blow up because you're being unfair to them. So that section of the audience, they go to people who are going to speak for them and who are going to stand up for them. Meanwhile, the so-called black audience that doesn't exist, that nobody likes to talk about, just continues to get middling numbers. We get crumbs off the table because people like you don't know how to support. So when you talk about the space is so white, it's because you made it that way. Because every time you have a statement to make, anytime you have a gripe or something like that, anytime you have the microphone, the floor, the platform, you talk to people who you say hate you. Why would you waste your time doing that? That's like receiving an award, going up to get the award, and spending your whole acceptance speech talking about your haters. Nobody wants to hear that shit. What sense does that make? How is that productive? But that's what you do, right? So let me see what else is being said here. Okay, he says once again, they're okay with us playing the best friend, but once we touch their heroes, once we lead, once we trailblaze, it's like, oh my God, it's just a bit too much. They're pandering, the actor added, while also acknowledging that being cast in the franchise was a fundamental moment in his career. All right, so they're basically talking about that, what I was talking about before, the old article from 2020, GQ magazine, where he was saying that he felt like he was done dirty. And of course, once again, I'm not saying that he doesn't have some point here. We all saw Hollywood Shuffle over 30 years ago. We know that it can be tough for actors, especially actors of color. All right. But I was making the point on one of our last Dark Council streams where I was saying that, for example, Anthony Mackie is now playing Captain America, but we don't know anything about him. His character is extremely underdeveloped. He doesn't have a love interest. He doesn't have kids. They show part of his family as in his sister and her kids, but that's her life. That's not his life. You know what I mean? So once again, the black character is underserved. The black character is underdeveloped, but you're not going to get respect by doing that, by race swapping, by assuming somebody else's or putting on somebody else's underwear. It doesn't work that way, you know? So John Boyega, for all of the support that the fans have given you over the years. And believe me, it's been an overwhelming amount of fans out here who have supported the character of Finn. Yes, there have been. But you choose to focus and to amplify the so-called toxicity. So what do you think is going to grow more? Do you think the positive aspects of the fandom are going to grow more? Or do you think the toxic aspects of the fandom are going to grow more or be perceived more? Well, look at the world around us. Look at what's going on. The more we wallow in the negative, the more negative our world will be. All right. So John Boyega, I can't take you seriously because remember, when we tried to bring our legitimate grievances to you through Twitter, you mocked people. You remember that? Like I said, I've been in the game for a long time. People told you that they had a problem with Finn just chasing after Ray. I think I put it in the thumbnail. Somebody actually said that. All you did was say Ray. And what was your response, John Boyega? I got paid. So back then, you didn't want to hear any of this. When well-meaning, constructive people were trying to tell you there was a problem with the way that your character was being portrayed, you said, and I quote, "We don't care." You said that, John Boyega. That's the reason why I didn't give you respect when you decided that you were going to call out Lucasfilm for underdeveloping your character. I said, fuck them. It's too late. The rest of us are getting called toxic. The rest of us are getting run over, and all types of stuff. We're getting called racist and misogynist. And in my case, being called a coon or an Uncle Tom and all of that stuff. And in the meantime, you're saying it doesn't matter, mate. I'm getting paid. You're saying we don't care. Well, fuck you, John Boyega. Fuck you, 7 years ago? Fuck you now. I don't want to hear anything that you have to say. I can't take you seriously. But anyway, guys, excuse me, I was eating popcorn before I started. So, you'd be having those little flakes. But anyway, I got to gargle before I do videos apparently now. Get in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about John Boyega, and his pity party that he's having right now. I don't know why he's doing this. Maybe he's trying to get a job back at Lucasfilm. Maybe they put him up to this. I don't know, but you're not doing yourself any favors, John Boyega. Oh, by the way, John Boyega, it seems kind of funny for me to say this after saying fuck you, but you always have an invitation to come on to the Dark Council. I promise you, bro. I promise you. They're not all like me. I'm just the one who spouts off the most like this. You know what I mean? Maybe not even. I mean, we got a Abu Nas too. But anyway, you have an invitation to check out the Dark Council, to come by, to talk to us. I promise you, bro. I promise you. We won't be abrasive. We'll be fair. All right? So there it is, guys. Get in the comment section as always. Let me know how you feel. You can like, you can share, you can subscribe. Thank you, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on. Out of touch, out of time, out of time.